This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came
Poor
to him through a
Stanley.
monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Of course, Stanley's always happy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, I'm gonna follow everything he tells me. I'm gonna step out of my office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Are you
Stanley decided
serious?
to go to the meeting room.
It didn't
Perhaps
do
he had
this
simply missed a
before.
memo.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay. Perhaps, just perhaps, I missed something.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
No trace at all. Turn this computer off. Alright. Meeting room. Let's go. Whoops. There you go.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I think I'll go to the left. Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
No one is
Feeling
here.
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's go to the boss's office. It must be this way because the other way is closed. Right. Doors automatically closed behind me. The broom closet. No, he said the boss's office. I'm gonna follow directions. Oh,
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
okay. All the way? I guess so. Oh, wow. It's kind of fancy. Is it this way? No, that's the bathroom. It must be this way. Is it this door here? Hello?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I'm shocked.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this.
Who did
what
this?
dark secret was being held from him?
Oh,
What
wow.
he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
A
And so the
keypad.
boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Okay.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
But I do. 2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Newly opened passageway. Is it going to close behind me? Okay. I guess I go here. Can I? What happens if I go this way? Nothing. It's completely dark. Alright, let's go this way. Going down.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
I feel
It was a
peculiar.
stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
I'm questioning
Why did he
everything.
feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Not for long. Let's go. Hello, light. Hello, light.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Sure. Escape? No. I'm following directions. Hello? Hello? What does this button do?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Do I have the strength to find out? Of course I do. More buttons? Yes, hello, button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their
Whoa,
true nature revealed.
so
Each
many.
bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place
Wow.
where freedom meant nothing.
Wow, just wow. This one has red letters. Must be an error. Okay, let's go. Wait, where am I? Oh, there I am. Of course, because I'm over here. Right. More buttons for me. Button?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
So
Had Stanley
horrible.
really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Perhaps.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Never.
His own life in someone else's control? Never. Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Blind to the world. I'm really... Oh, I go this way?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Never again.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yes. Okay. Okay, I go in here. Ooh. Yes? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll go in here.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and
Yes.
to everything it stood for.
End it. I turned off all the powers. And now I cannot
Dragons.
see.
and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
I don't know. You're still talking to me, so I guess not.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Moments.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
I don't know.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Because I'm awesome.
What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
Sure
For
it
it was
doesn't.
not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
Yes,
Perhaps
I'm
his
very
goal
happy.
had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go.
But you're
what to
still
do,
telling me what
or
to
how
do.
feel. Whatever life he lives,
This is not
it
my
will
life.
be
This
his.
is all a sham.
And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Okay. You're still telling me what to do.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I'm not happy. I'm very confused.